If either of these two males try to pair with her, because she is possibly ovulating.
Get it in, fam!
Could make for an exciting video.
I'm Louie, flexing pythons. We're going to be doing a reaction to Clint's Reptiles. If you don't know who Clint's Reptiles is, honestly, you live under a rock, so make sure you go follow him, subscribe to him. His link's going to be in the description below to his YouTube channel, and the original link to this video is going to be in the description. Make sure you please check him out if you haven't already. And he has a video, it's called Ball Python, the Best Pet. Now this is a video that he's uploaded like 4 years ago, but I figured why not go back and look at it. Shout out to Smitty Serpents. Has a YouTube channel, his link's gonna be down in the description below. He actually just posted his first video ever on YouTube. So speaking of ball pythons, this ball python video, I figured, yo, let's show off Smitty Serpents. I'm excited to get into it. Ball python, the best pet reptile. I don't know. It's definitely up there though.
Welcome.
Oh, wow, look at all, okay. Hold on, all right, I think I'm ready now.
Because you're considering, at least on some level, getting a ball python, and I think that's an excellent choice.
Clint, already got one. I'm just watching this for funsies.
You might have seen our video before about the 5 best pet reptiles for new keepers. If not, you can check it out. It's right there, right here.
Yo, where you
see it?
Yo.
Go there, check it out.
She's in the chair, man. I think we gotta put old shiny girl back. We'll keep him. Rex is always very good. He's always a good boy. You a good boy? Yeah.
Tell us what you thought.
We're ready
ball
now.
Python, very reasonable. And today we're going to talk a little bit about what makes the ball python so spectacular and why it might be the perfect pet reptile for you.
See, it's the way Clint talks. Could we just go? We gotta go back, man. This is how Clint talks. This is Clint right here, and I just love how. I mean, he's just so enthused
about what makes the ball python so spectacular and why it might be the perfect pet reptile for you.
Yo, he's more excited than I am. Like, you the one getting a new snake. You thinking about getting a ball python right now? You're thinking about getting one. Clint's more excited you getting one than you're excited about getting one. Guarantee it. 4 stars right off the bat. Get 4 stars?
4 out of 5. That's really high. That's going to come down to our 5 categories: handleability, care, hardiness, availability, and upfront costs. So the first thing on our list is handleability. And for handleability, we give them a 5 out of 5. There
5
isn't a
chameleons.
reptile that is better to handle than a ball python. For starters, they're very mellow, very calm, laid back. I mean, you can see these guys, some of them, they'll just sit here for quite a while and hang out. Others will explore a little bit, but they're not nearly as easily startled as a lot of other snakes. It's very, very difficult to...
I feel like they get startled all the time. To be honest, Clint. You touch, like, I mean, at least their head. They don't like their head. A lot of them don't like their head touched. I guess it depends on your definition of being startled, but like, well, I don't want to mess with him. But you see his head just chilling there? I could boop his nose. He'd be like, hell no. Startle him. Maybe our definitions of startling is different.
To upset them. They're big enough that they can handle a little bit of rough handling. Of course, you want to try to avoid this, but sometimes you might have somebody who, like a child, handling a snake, and this snake is big enough that if a child squeezed it a little bit or dropped it a little bit, it probably would be okay. You still want to avoid this if you can, but they handle rough handling better than most.
I'd agree with that for sure. I do have a 4-year-old daughter, and she loves the snakes. Loves the snakes. Oh my goodness, she loves snakes. Like all the time. Can I pull out the snake? Can I pull out this snake? Can I pull a snake? And she just, you know, they're hardy as heck.
Most reptiles. Also, they're a very moderately sized reptile. Before we mentioned that they're big enough to handle some rough handling, but they're small enough that you can easily handle them by yourself. Some pythons and boas can get so large that it's really not even safe to handle them alone. And they're so heavy you probably couldn't even if you wanted to. This piebald, this white snake, she is a pretty good sized ball python. They don't get a whole lot bigger than this very often, and she is very, very manageable even with one hand. They are very easy to deal with, not gonna bite you, not gonna strike or scare you or hiss at you, generally speaking. They're very, very laid back, very fun. Because they have they're very unlikely to scratch you. Other reptiles, especially larger lizards, might scratch you with their claws. We'll talk more about this later, but ball pythons do have 2 claws, which most people don't expect to see from a snake. But I've never been scratched by the claws of a ball python. If you look right here, though, and this always surprises people to see. Right there and right there.
Yep, right there. Look
Those
at
are
it.
claws. They're
Look at
called
that.
spurs.
Yeah,
They're
you got
kind of
spurs.
the last
You got little spurs.
leftovers
His head just
of legs.
chilling right there.
So this is a snake with legs. Don't mean to ruin your day. When it comes to care...
Yo, Clint never trying to ruin... Yo, if he ruined your day, he didn't mean to. Guaranteed. Like, Clint got, like, a genuine heart. It just comes out in all his videos.
We've given them a score of 3 out of 5. They can be relatively inconsistent feeders. In general, they will eat about once a week, usually. And sometimes you will get a snake that might not feed for weeks or even months at a time. And that can be very disconcerting for a new reptile keeper. You probably are going to try to feed frozen thawed rodents. That is definitely the safest way to go, because a live rodent can potentially carry diseases, but more concerning is the fact that it could potentially injure your snake. In fact, if you ever leave them alone with the snake, there's a very good chance that they will kill your snake or seriously, seriously injure it. So you never want to do that. Other things to
touch up on the feeding, he's right. So if you look back in my old videos from like 6 or 7 years ago, I got this pied, right? A pied female. She was like 1,100 grams, around that, right? I got her for $600. And that was a killer deal back then. It's a killer deal right now, probably. And I figured out why she was $600. She would not eat for me. What is that 1,100 gram wall that people talk about with ball pythons? Once they hit about 1,100 grams, you're trying to wait and find out and see if you got one that's gonna give you problems. Feeding can be frustrating, but you can overcome that hurdle. It's just a pain. You're absolutely right, Clint. I didn't even think about that.
To be aware of are hydration and humidity. This is particularly important when it comes time for them to shed their skin. Ball pythons can be notorious for having incomplete sheds where they only shed kind of flakes of skin at a time, and a snake should be shedding its skin all in one big piece, like a sock. And if it's coming off in flakes, your humidity is too low, and you need to boost that humidity. You don't want your enclosure to be soaked, not by any means, but your humidity needs to be higher than it is. Additionally, temperature will be very important when it comes to caring for your ball python. You need an ambient...
All right, real quick, let's talk about the humidity real quick. My snakes have been given full sheds. They have been. Now, you can keep them in glass enclosures. Keeping old Rex here, he's in a glass enclosure in my son's room. I do have to do something different, right? I have a tubs for, all that in my little snake room, tubs and all that stuff, but he's in a glass enclosure for my son. You can keep them in there, and there are things that you can do to raise the humidity, but you're gonna have to be doing it a lot.
You may be using something like heat tape or a heating pad. Any of these devices could potentially malfunction and get so hot that it could burn your snake, and so you definitely want to make sure you've got a thermostat and good thermometers on your enclosure so that you don't have any problems with burning them or keeping them too cold. Let's talk next about hardiness. When it comes to hardiness, we give these snakes a 4 out of 5. The easiest ways to kill a snake would be to dehydrate it. If you didn't provide water that was available to these snakes for too long, you could lose a snake fairly quickly, much faster than you could, say, from starvation. Also, if you get them very, very cold or very, very hot, these things could easily kill a ball python. Always, if you squish one or if you drop it off of something high, things that would kill you would kill them. In general, they're pretty hardy, pretty tolerant of you learning how to take care of this snake. We all make a few mistakes here and there. A ball python won't just keel over and die because you made a tiny mistake one day, unless you leave it in your car in the hot sun. As far as...
Yo, I'm in Las Vegas, man. Get real hot here. Don't leave nothing in your car. Jeez.
Availability goes, we give these a 5 out of 5. Anywhere where you can buy reptiles, you can buy ball pythons. You can get them in basically any color you want, within reason. You can see right here, there's a huge diversity of ball pythons. However you want it to look, if you're willing to pay for it, you can probably find it. For upfront cost, we give them a...
What are you doing, man? I had to stop the video. He's being very curious. Yo, you looking cute, man. You a cute ball. You looking super cute right now. What are you doing? You gonna whisper me secrets in my ear? You gonna whisper?
3 out of 5. You can purchase a ball python very affordably. If it just came down to the cost of the snake itself, it would be a 5 out of a 5. But housing a ball python can be a little bit more expensive. First, you're going to have to decide the way that you want to house it. When it comes to personal preference, glass terraria isn't what I would use. It is the best for viewing your animal. There's a place for that. It is definitely going to be harder for you to keep temperatures and humidity where they need to be in a glass terraria, especially if it has like a screen top on it. The other thing that can be a problem with glass terraria is just that they're very open, and snakes feel very vulnerable in the open. Like I've said before, when you're a noodle with a head, the world's a scary place. If you use glass terraria, make sure that you have a lot of clutter in there and places for the snake to hide. Probably an easier option, but nowhere near as good for display or for observing your snake, would be some, which is sort of like a plastic drawer of sorts that has some sort of a heating element underneath it. These are excellent for keeping humidity right where it should be and temperatures right where they should be, but it's very difficult to observe your pet. You know, other people will say, why are you keeping your snake in a drawer? Why do you even have this if you're just gonna lock it away in a drawer? So there's a lot of personal preference.
And you know, if you're one of those people that's like, why you keep it in a drawer? And it's like, they're not happy in there and blah, blah, blah. Yo, they're perfectly happy. They fine in there. They probably prefer that. In the wild, they're in freaking termite mounds and stuff. Tubs, they're way happier in it. People might, you know, and the majority of people that are probably saying that, they definitely don't breed them. I can guarantee the people that are breeding them, yo, we all use in these rack systems. That's the way it is.
Both of these options, though, are going to be somewhat expensive. Maybe running a few $100s for you to get a really good setup with thermostat and proper heat. Not too bad, but that's why we give them a 3 out of 5. To conclude with the ball python, we have given them an overall score of 4 out of 5. Once
Yo,
again,
you got four chameleons, bro.
Reptile. They're excellent.
You got 4 chameleons.
I love them. It would be difficult for me to recommend one higher. As far as snakes go, they are just spectacular. I love them. Since I've been sitting here with them, I've realized I love them more than I even realized.
I believe you.
As always, be sure to like and subscribe, and we hope to see you real soon.
Yo, you see me all the time whenever you post a video, Clint.
Did you want to grab any B-roll? I'm realizing while they're here, ball pythons are just spectacular. Why are these creatures so great?
Why are these creatures so great? Yo, when he whispers, people listen.
Great. These are so great. This is an awesome snake pile. Ball pythons are cool. They're stinking rad. If either of these two males try to pair with her, because she is possibly ovulating.
Get it in, fam!
Could make for an exciting video.
That was an excellent video by Clint. Not only does he gives you a bunch of information that is gonna be helping out a lot of people. A lot of people that, especially that are brand new, just to ball pythons, to reptile, just to this hobby, man. People that are new to this hobby. Oh, sorry, did I mess with you? My bad. People that are new to this hobby, Clint is helping out a lot of people right here. And when you're around ball pythons so long, sometimes we forget that, you know, we started somewhere, right? At one point, we knew nothing about these animals. It's our responsibility to shed light on, you know, things that aren't being done right. People having ball pythons that maybe don't know exactly what they should be doing, or they think they know, but really they were misfed some wrong information at a pet store, which happens all the time. It's our responsibility to shed light on that. Come, you know, from a place of a genuine heart, you know, not being mean or rude, but really just showing, like, from a place where they know that we care about them, and hopefully, you know, teach some people out there that the right way to care for them, and then they can pass that on, because that's done for me. People taught me. I didn't know nothing. I feel like that's probably the majority of people. Do your part. If you see someone that's not doing the right thing with their snakes or any animal, and you know, let them know in a nice way. That's important. Yo, I appreciate y'all for watching, guys. Make sure you go check out Clint's Reptiles if you haven't already, which I'm sure you do. If you like this video, guys, hit like, hit subscribe. I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good one.